All right, what's good? It's Hunter back at it again with yet another video. All right, so if you guys are new to this channel, what we do is we do cooking stuff, but we also make content that transcends the kitchen. All right. So pretty much we cover a whole range of information, everything from high frequency topics to real life shit like this video. But what it's really about is giving you guys information that's truly conducive to your guys' highest growth in this lifetime. All right. So I'm post shift right now. I'm hungry. I'm trying to get that protein in, right? And look, we're gonna go make some eggs and talk about dysfunctional families. Okay, and you're like, Hunter, what gives you the authority to speak on this topic? Look, experience is the greatest teacher. Okay, so how I look at it is, look, we're given situations that come to us, right? And we can either be victimized by the situation or we can transmute it to something higher, right? Something that's better for us. And then we can grow past it, right? That's what it's about. All right, so enough of the intro, enough yapping. Let's get right into this, bro. Okay, you already know we about to cook, bro. Let's get right into this. All right, cool. So we're all set up, we're ready. This is everything we need to make some eggs, all right? It's like midnight by this point. Okay, so like one of those, okay, midnight snack. What's interesting is eggs contain cholesterol, okay, and cholesterol is a precursor to, that's what I'm saying. I try to film videos and it's like shit just comes up and tries to mess with me. Whatever. Okay, so eggs contain cholesterol, okay, and cholesterol is the precursor to testosterone, right, and other important sex hormones. Okay, so if you eat some eggs before bed, that's good because look, you're gonna wake up, you get what man say, right? And I'm pretty much gonna give you guys a little rundown. So this is just some Amish eggs that I got from this Polish market I go to in my area. Bro, if you know, you know, like I'm from the Chicago area and there's a whole lot of Mexican markets and Polish markets that I get really good quality food from for relatively cheap. So that's always nice. Okay, and then look, we got some special ingredients over here. If you guys stay to the end, I'll show you guys what we do with that, right? But yeah, we of course, you know, we got to bring some herbs into it, some garden fresh chives. All right, this is some grass-fed butter, and this is some Celtic sea salt. Okay, so only high quality ingredients over here. And I noticed before I even started filming this that this knife is dull as hell. All right, so I'm just gonna sharpen this quick. Okay, so one thing I can guarantee that you'll walk away with from this video is a new perspective. Okay, and that's the most important thing that I've learned when it comes to moving past traumatic events, right, is gaining new perspective, right, and kind of rebuilding your identity past that. Okay, because in my 20 years of life, bro, I've seen some shit. Okay, some complex situations that, you know, I've had to learn to grow past and just kind of let go and really evolve from. Okay, and it's a constant process. And let me zoom out first. Let me zoom out before I even say anything. Okay, we're on Earth right now. All right, that's what we know. Earth is a reality construct. Okay, it's a reality system. And if you look at Earth as being like a grain of sand, then there's as many reality constructs, as many planets, as many places that you can incarnate into as grains of sand in the sea. So again, if Earth is a grain of sand, there's as many places that you can incarnate to in the universe as grains of sand in the sea. Okay, it's infinite. It's literally infinite. Okay, so that's the perspective we're rolling with in this video. And to say that creation made a mistake, right? To say that, you know, the creator, right, the universe, God, whatever you want to say, made a mistake is kind of absurd. Okay, so you're wondering why you have so much family trauma, so much family struggle, right? So much pain in your life in general. Understand that there's a whole cosmic arrangement. There's a whole system. There's a whole journey that's built up for you to help you evolve, right, on a soul level. Okay, good enough. All right, I think we're gonna go with like 8 eggs today. Kind of hungry. Like I said, I worked like an 8-hour shift earlier in the kitchen. Low key, bro. When I come home, like the last thing I want to do is cook. I can't even lie, but look, it's life. All right, so gotta eat. And look, it's worth the investment in yourself. Like, if you're someone you don't like to cook at home, okay, cool. But you're gonna end up paying the price because, dude, I live, like I said, in the Chicago area, and there's restaurants everywhere. Okay, there's places to eat everywhere. If you live in like small town America, or if you live in, you know, other countries, there's typically not as many restaurants around. Okay, so I say that to say, bro, I struggle to find healthy food in the area of the world where there's some of the most amount of food. Tell me that's not backwards. Like, tell me that picture is not a little bit fucked up, bro. You know what I mean? But look, we just have to work with it. Like, that's really my motto. It's like, bro, it is what it is. Okay, so look, we're gonna get this pan going. Okay, we're using stainless steel. Look at this well-seasoned pan. All right, we're using stainless steel because it's not gonna poison us like Teflon would, like non-stick would. Okay. So my scrambled egg recipe is kind of a spin-off of Gordon Ramsay's. If you know, you know. It's pretty simple. All right. So we'll get the butter melting in there. Okay, we're just gonna go straight in with our eggs, scrambled. Just like that. So a good rule of thumb when you're working with stainless steel is it's hot enough when you can get water in your hands and throw it on there and it beads up and kind of stays on the surface rather than just evaporating immediately.
When the pan is at the perfect temperature, 1 or 2 beads will form immediately and the pan is ready for adding oil.
Okay, so a little tidbit there, right? And yeah, so dysfunctional families, right? So understand that a lot of metaphysical teachings tell us that we picked our family, right? We picked the area that we live in, right? You wonder why you're around the people that you're around, right? You're wondering why, like, bro, why is my family so messed up, right? Especially if you're someone you're conscious at a young age. Like, dude, I was like hyper aware of the trauma in my family when I was like 15, 16. You know what I mean? Like, I looked around, right, and I would start to get kind of jealous because it's like my friends around me, like my boys and just the people around me, it's like, bro, they did not have the same level of dysfunction that I had, right? And it's like everyone has their struggle, right? And some families are worse than others. But it's just like, you know, I know how that feels to look around and it's just kind of confusing. Okay, so that kind of led me to search for meaning and to kind of understand this for myself at a young age. So I'm pretty much just kind of laying that out there for you guys so you guys can understand where I'm coming from. All right, so we're going to take this off the heat and we're going to add a little bit more butter. This thing is fucking super duper melted for what it is. Like, I just took it out of the fridge. Strange. All right, look, we're gonna salt here. Look, this is controversial, right? People salt like 10 minutes before they scramble their eggs. Other people salt right now. This is where I prefer to salt. Okay, and my butter is already salted, so I'm not gonna go crazy. But yeah, salt tends to bring out all the flavors in the dish, and it kind of helps to amplify things. So salting and like amount and quantity, as well as the time that you salt, is important. Okay, that kind of changes the texture as well. So yeah, we're gonna go in with our chives. Look, I'm aware of the fact that these chives are a little ugly. All right, they get the job done. This is pretty much where I like my eggs. They have like the last bit of shine to them. Just like that. Super rich and decadent. Why is that wet, bro? I'm so confused. It's like there's someone else living in the apartment, but it's just me. Like, what am I talking about? Why is it wet? It was definitely me, bro. But yeah, this is how I like my eggs. This is even a little bit past where I like my eggs. But this guy... And I promised you guys I would show you guys the special ingredients. Okay, Frank's Red Hot. The reason why I like this hot sauce is because the ingredients are just the cayenne pepper, the vinegar, the salt, and the water. Okay, and garlic powder. But it doesn't have added gums. Like a lot of hot sauces have xanthan gum, which can be a gut disruptor for a lot of people. So this is something, you know, a good alternative. And bro, you could put that shit on anything. You get what I'm gonna say. But this is avocado. Okay, also good healthy fats. Look, I realize I know I barely got into the topic, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna set up the camera and you guys are gonna come with me kind of while I eat this, and we're just gonna talk about this shit. Let's flow state, bro. That shit is decent. Look at this. Okay, for a midnight snack, this isn't half bad. Okay, this is decent. I like this, especially with avocado. Look, I'm sure most of you guys have tried this combo by now. But the scrambled egg avocado combo, that shit is good as hell. Bro, you know people that bite the fork when they eat? Dude, that shit gets me hot. I just realized I did that. Like that. Bro, come. So look, you wouldn't be given certain scenarios. You wouldn't be given certain circumstances if you weren't able to handle them. Okay? That's part of your growth. That's really just how you have to look at it, right? Again, it gets so confusing when you look around like, why is this shit happening to me? Right? I know what that feels like. Like, you don't know what this means exactly, but you're given certain circumstances that you're just like, bro, it's so complex. Right? It's so complex. And then you have to navigate through it and you know, get your head above water to understand what's going on. Right? Because you can get so caught in it. You can get so into the moment and get so caught in the storm that you're not able to see outside of it. Right? You're just caught in there. Okay? But it's always so important to create the eye of the storm for yourself. Okay, we talk about this, right? It's so important to find your Zen mode, right? To create it for yourself and really take the time to go within. Also find the right resources on the outside to kind of understand and move past the situations that were brought to you. Right? And I just have to drill it home. Like, you wouldn't be given anything that you couldn't already get through. Right? Like, you're a king, bro. Like, you're a god, bro. This shit is so funny to me because I've never filmed myself eating before. And like chill. It's all yours. Like no one is coming to take it. No one is coming to take it. Like, bro, is this how I eat in front of a girl? Like when we're out to eat? Okay, back to seriousness. And it's crazy because you'll come out the other end and you'll see how if I didn't go through that situation, if I wasn't met with the circumstances that were given to me within my household or in my family dynamic, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today. Okay? And again, that sounds like the clicheist of cliches, but it's true. Okay? It's tossed around for a reason. Right? People say it for a reason. Okay? So what I had to understand within myself at a young age, right, being very aware of these dynamics was I can't save the people around me, even like my own family. I can't save you from your own suffering, from your own struggle. One of the most important things to understand is that you can't save people from their own suffering, from their own struggle. Sometimes you just gotta save yourself, bro. Again, if you feel it within yourself to lead, okay, or you're a healer archetype, you're gonna have to understand that lesson at some point. That's gonna be brought to your attention, that's gonna be brought into your experience where you could literally save someone. Like you can dead ass, bro. You can see exactly where someone needs to go for them to get better, right? And for them to heal and move past their situation. But you can't do anything. Like they're so caught in their patterns, right? They're so caught in their cycles that you can't help them, right? And the best thing to do is to point it backwards, right? And look within yourself and really just focus on yourself, bro. It's the best thing you can do. It's just to focus on yourself in those situations, right? Because look, you already have your own cycles too. You already have your own patterns too, right? Look, if you're pointing the finger outside, right? There's three fingers pointing back at you. Okay, so like even though you can see exactly where the person needs to go, right? Even though you can literally help them, you can't, bro. You can't. Right? And it's like coming to terms with that is painful, okay? But it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. Look, just get rich. If you're that person in your family where you're aware at a young age, then the chances are is you're going to move the family in the right direction. Like your kids are taken care of, right? Like your kids are taken care of just based off the energy that you bring and how you move, right? And that's super powerful, super powerful.